Hi guys and welcome to TVS.com. This is Mohit Soni. Right in front of you is the TVS Ntorq 125 Race XP. XP stands for extra horsepower, and as we all know that the Race XP came and took the market by storm by offering more performance from the same Ntorq, which was already a very performance oriented scooter, a fun to ride scooter, and that's what TVS has made sure that they take it to another level, and that level is quite high because this scooter is extremely fun to ride in its class because there are a number of changes that have been done. And as you can see, let's begin with the design. You can see at the front is this new headlamp with LED DRLs at the front, which look really great. I'll show you in the night how it looks like in the video. And what it also has is this new tri-color paint scheme, which is white, black and red, running around in the way it's done. So that's a lot of detailing that is done on this scooter to make it look very race spec. We are not new with the race spec concept of scooters in India because Aprilia has already done that with the 160. They had this race version and it had significant changes as well. So this is not the first time that we're coming across something like this. And as you can see, it retains its bends, its very angular looking indicators. That's the exhaust note and the exhaust port down there, and I'll show you the exhaust note as well, make you hear that. And on the side, this is how it looks like. The seat is quite large in terms of length, in terms of width also it is quite accommodating. I can tell you that because since I'm a heavier rider, and as you will see while riding that it kind of complements almost any type of body design here. That's the switch here, very high quality as always with TVS, that is on offer. You've got a hazard lamp switch, a start stop button over there, the engine kill switch, and this is the pass clamp. Let me just show you that the keyhole is very bare basic though. It doesn't have all the functionalities for opening the seat or the fuel lid. It is still done via here. I think that's the only slight amount of inconvenience that is on offer with the Ntorq, because every other scooter, and in fact some TVS scooters also get the design which is now integrated into the keyhole. So I think that TVS loves to update their scooters and motorcycles, so I'm sure that will be on charts as well sometime in the future. That is a very comprehensive speedometer that we have here, and it's got two riding modes from this button here, so you can switch from race mode to street mode with this button even while riding. So all you have to do is very super bike style, let off the throttle and just press this button, and it will switch between street and race mode whenever you want it. So that's great. Pass light button is integrated into the high beam button. That's the engine kill off. So TVS has made sure you get that very sporty, almost motorcycle-like experience in the cockpit area. And you've got a hook here which is very handy in terms of practical, because there is none here below. Or is it? Yes, it has one. It's tucked in very low here. And red wheels at the front and at the back. The rear tire is 110/80 section and the front tire is 100 section, 100/80. Both are on 12-inch wheels. Let's come at the back, show you how the boot and the fuel lid opens like. That's a lot of costly petrol that has just spilled out. And yeah, that is the light. You've got a USB socket here, which is great. A decent amount of storage on the inside, not the best. Of course, the Suzuki Access has the best in seat storage when it comes to scooters, which is also our long-term scooter, so I can tell you that we accommodated a lot in that. And handle weights, very nice grips, very nice levers. You've got a clip for making sure that you don't roll off when you don't want to off a slope while riding on a higher incline. So fit, finish, quality, design, everything looks great. The LED lights also are great in the night. The illumination and spread is okay. Of course, you're going to stay in the city, so that's not going to be much of a problem, but extremely dark city areas will be also covered rather well. I can't say how it will fare in the rains, but obviously that's a story for a different day. You've got these red fan inside. You've got this very nice aluminum finish foot pegs, and since most of you are going to put a guard around it, or maybe not, because that's a very family scooter thing to do with the race, I think you're going to keep it like this, and you should, because it looks great like this. And you've got, of course, Smart Connect, which I wanted to talk about, is that you now get 15 voice commands. You need to have a Bluetooth device connected to your mobile phone. The mobile phone app needs to have the TVS Connect app, and from the Bluetooth, while you will be wearing it while riding it, you can put in 15 voice commands. So that's a very nifty feature to have. And as we all know, there is built-in navigation into this, so that takes most of the problems. I'm not a fan of how you need to have a device while you are riding on you. But of course, if you have a very nice unit that goes with your helmet, and that's a much more secure system, and it's not a fidgety one, then you'll be really fine with it. And it obviously should not distract you from the job of riding, which is quite easy. If you start playing around, you can lose track of certain things, and it's not a safe thing to do. But when you are at a standstill or at really slow speeds, you can do that and enjoy those 15 voice commands on offer. Since I started the scooter, you can see that's how the LED tail lamps look like. As always, they look fantastic. It's the same design as the normal TVS Ntorq. And since that's a lot of talking about the scooter in person, let's check out how it rides. On the road, how does the Ntorq feel like to ride? Well, this is the same 3-valve 125cc motor, making 10 full PS of power and 10.8 Nm of torque. So that's almost a jump of 0.75 bhp and 0.3 Nm of torque. It has the curb weight of 118 kilos, so that is slightly on the heavier side, but it is still on par with the segment. TVS is always known for getting the power to weight ratio right, and with this they've done it. Off the line, this is one of the quickest scooters that you can come across. I remember riding the BS4 version, and that felt very quick, very high in character. The exhaust note was even louder, but this feels exactly that, because with the BS6 version we saw that there was a bit of linearness, and that is kicked in, so that robs it of the character, of the feel from the engine, and the exhaust note and the intake note. That's sort of still there with this Race XP version, and so that makes it a lot of fun to ride. And while handling, of course, it always felt a bit top heavy to me, but now it does not. I did check, I specifically remember my story, I said that, and when I'm riding it now, it doesn't feel that top heavy. So I think that's some improvement done to the chassis or somehow, but it doesn't feel that top heavy anymore. That was the only downside to the fantastic ride and handling that the TVS Ntorq has offered. Grip from the tires is great. It feels very confident. It is one of the most confident scooters I've ridden in a very long time. I of course have ridden very recently ridden the Aprilia SRs and the SRX, but this somehow feels much more better than those. So our team also is very surprised with the fact that after spending a couple of days with this scooter, we were surprised at how confident the scooter is to ride. You can go over bumps very quickly, it doesn't get unsettled at all. So that's a lot of engineering that has gone into this chassis to make it that way, and TVS has done that really well. So a job well done by TVS, and kudos to them. Like I said, the grip is from the tires is also good. Of course, we've not tested it in the wet, and the brakes also feel very nice. The front and rear brakes have very good initial bite, almost feels very similar, but of course the front brake has more progression after the initial bite, and the rear also displays a very good amount of braking force, which you will use on a daily basis more often. But if you're really going for it, or on a favorite section of your road, then you might use the front brake even more, and it's really impressive. Of course, TVS could have added ABS, but that could have jacked up the prices significantly, and I think the scooter should get that, or at least a scooter with much more cubic capacity and power, let's say around the 150cc mark. If TVS could do that, that will be great, and putting ABS on that will be mandatory, so that will make things even more fun. What else can we tell you while riding is the fact that, like I said, since you can go fast over bumps easily, that means the fact that the ride quality is really impressive. The tires are good, the brakes are good, the chassis confidence is amazing. You get a lot of lean while while leaning the scooters into corner, and that's what makes the TVS Ntorq a very impressive scooter to ride on a daily basis, which includes a very good fuel efficiency of 42 kilometers to the liter that we've gotten. Of course, it has also gone down while accelerating quite off the line. What we've also noticed is that riding it really quickly, that's when the fuel efficiency dropped, is the fact that the street mode and the race mode. The street mode feels like it's limited, the race mode doesn't feel that it's limited. So I think street mode also should have been given the ability to maximize at the top end, because only at the top end is when the scooter feels a little pulled back in street mode, and the race mode of course feels much more accomplished in that aspect. So the top end is very free. We did see a speedo indicated 90 kilometers per liter. So how would we like to sum up the TVS Race XP version of the 125cc scooter? We've talked a lot about the scooter. Let's talk about the price, because it starts from 83,000 rupees and goes up to 88,000 rupees is what we checked recently, and that is slightly expensive for a 125cc scooter, but then you are getting a scooter that accelerates from 0 to 60 under 7 seconds. You've got a fuel efficiency of 40 kilometers to the liter. You've got a very comprehensive infotainment system. You've got a very high quality scooters with a lot of buttons and everything laid out really well. Our previous review of the Ntorq of course was long time back, but you can still check it. There was a lot more detail in that we covered. This is of course the Race XP version of the normal version, so we still try to keep it as detailed as possible. And but like I said, so there is a lot of change between the previous scooter and the Race XP, and I think that price increase is almost well worth it, given the fact that it's a very high quality scooter. It's a reliable platform from TVS. It's been doing really well for the company. It's been doing really well in the younger section and the slightly older section of the market, and that makes it a very, you know, practical and affordable and a very all-rounder scooter that everybody can have you know, a good time with. The low seat height makes it comfortable for elderly. The young can enjoy the acceleration and the looks of the funky scooter, and that's what has always helped the TVS Ntorq grab a lot of attention and a market share at the same time. So that makes it the scooter to have if you are for a very sporty, reliable 125cc scooter. Of course, there are much more bigger scooters out there in the market, but since this is a tried and tested model, it's still very fun to ride. It has decent performance. You can definitely have a look at the TVS Ntorq 125 Race XP. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Make sure you like it, share it. Still have some questions, put them in the comment section below. We'll be happy to answer it. Follow us on our website for everyday updates and social media, of course. Until then, goodbye.